Shalom. Kol Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Nawashai Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen that look like the heathen. And to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom once again, to the 144,000 and the elect, the rest of the elect found in Revelation 7 and 9 that's scattered. All right, so this is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone in Chicago here once again. And you can't make these things up, because as I was opening up my phone to go into the scriptures, Jada Pickett's face popped up on this issue of marriage and divorce and child support and alimony and all that sort of thing. And someone sent me a video, one of my subscribers and another brother, I think it may have been Lawyer, that the brother Lawyer, the beautiful brother out of the I believe Lawyers in the Orlando camp. And one of those Florida camps, I think it's Orlando. That brother and I, we, go back and forth on TikTok with a lot of information. That brother, man, he keep me busy, because boy, I don't know how he be finding this stuff. Boy, he like a damn hound dog. That brother, if there's a story out there, that brother gonna find it. But I got this video, and it was about this House bill in Tennessee that passed. Which basically has made paternity fraud, which all the paternity laws are enforced fraudulently anyway, but this particular law, House Bill 2689 out of Tennessee, maternity fraud is now a crime. So, and it's changing up the game completely, because paternity tests are due, at the birth, prior to the signing of the birth certificate or acknowledgement, and they said it's something like it's 30% of the fathers are found not to be the father. So once they start doing this paternity test prior to the DNA test, prior to the birth, prior to the signing of the birth certificate, that number is going to increase. Probably to about half, at least. All right. So the gig is up on that, and then the next thing that's also being done with that is that no more the hookup culture, which allows women to, ride the carousel, pick and choose, who to go raw dog with and who to make wear a condom. Usually trying to get a baller, trying to get that guy who's got the look she likes. She think he's good looking, or he's got money, or maybe his family's got money. She'll say she's on birth control, poke holes, whatever. Seduce them, the whole one night stand thing. You meet a girl, and you in 2-3 days you lying with her, and that's as fast as it started, it's over, within a week or two, or 2-3 weeks, or a month later even. You're not even talking to her anymore, because she's already on to the next. She done been with 2 or 3 other dudes within days of you, all that kind of wickedness that's going on. All right. And now they don't have to pay, but I've ranted and raved enough, because when it comes to marriage, all this equality and all this other stuff. Look, marriage is a patriarchal thing. The man is in charge, point blank, period. The woman is under the man. She's not his equal. All right. So, and because Coach Adams is gonna say something, because I like Coach Adams. He says a lot of real stuff, but then clearly he was brought up in Christianity like the majority of us, and when it comes to the Bible, Christians don't know what the hell they're talking about. All right, because the Bible clearly says in the book of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, 36th chapter, it says, "He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, a pillar of rest." So the woman is the possession of the man. And a man can have multiple wives biblically. All right. To say that a man could, these wedding vows is singular for the woman, but it can be plural for the man. And that's not exercise. All right. And I'm going to prove that with scriptures. Christianity lies. They teach this, these fake Christians push this monogamy thing, and which comes from these Edomites, their false version of this made up Christianity, and they've never practiced it. Same as they push love and they've never shown love. As they were rape, rob, and murder, and then setting themselves up to be holy men and lawmen at the same time, after they just stole your land, murdered your sons, and raped your daughters. And all of a sudden, you got to go to church and learn about God from them and learn about love from them. Really? All right. So let's get, matter of fact, before I even do that, let me play a little bit of this video to give you an example of what I'm talking about.
Speaking of a volunteer, a wife says she doesn't want to obey her husband. What do you guys think about this? I'm going to show you the video of it. And this one doesn't have audio. This is just a better video. It says, y'all here for it, ? Bride refuses to say wedding vow about obeying your husband. Quote, we didn't talk about that one in counseling. Okay. This is more straggle and sniggle type behavior here. So
it ain't no counseling. All right. What's supposed to happen is the father, it picks out, she gets together with the father, the parents of the bride and the maid, typically in ancient times, the way it was done in our culture and in others, all right, in other Hebrew cultures as well. The Ishmaelites, I don't know what Edom was doing because they was always on some wild shit. But even among Elam, amongst Ishmael, even among some Hamites, all right, the families would get together. The father, a girl would be betrothed. She would be promised to a certain individual who was usually anywhere from 5 to 15 years older than her, all right, depending, okay, and she was betrothed to him. And when she came of age, they set up the wedding. So it was no need for counseling because they was already set up. It was just what it was, and it was usually done in an arrangement, sort of for sometimes for political reasons, sometimes even stop war. Sometimes neighboring kingdoms would marry their princes and their princesses off because now those two kingdoms have family members and people connected. And it could help prevent war and keep peace between two nations in some cases. So it was a lot of reasons that it was done in the ancient time. But nevertheless, marriage is a patriarchal institution according to the Lord. All right. Matter of fact, let me go to 1 Corinthians 11, and I'm gonna start at verse 8 and read through like 12. And it reads, "For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. For this cause ought the woman to have power over her head because of the angel." Well, I can stop right there. All right. Because the woman was created for the man to be a helpmate. All right. Not the other way around. All right. And woman came of the man, not the other way around. Okay. So, this whole we're equal parties in it. That's not really how it's supposed to be. That's a modern, and this is why so many marriages end in divorces in the West. And the courts love it because they make money off of it. They make more money. They make money marrying you, and then they make even more money divorcing you. All right. Lawyers are just getting rich.
Get to it here. This is a goofy ass ninja. He got her all the way to the altar.
And see, in modern day marriage, and just to be straight up with you, young brothers, it's really not worth it. It's not. All right. Especially if you young and you have no children, and you're gonna go hook up with a woman who's got children, multiple children, and in most cases it's with multiple men. Man, don't put yourself in that, because number one, you can never be first in her life, and then those other men are always still going to be in her life. All right. And often, sometimes in her guts, the familiarity is still there. All right. It never really goes away. So it's just not a wise thing to do. That's some wise counsel for you younger men out there. All right. And if you're going to get married, you know what? I'm not against, as long as you're here in this kingdom and you want to do it, hey, I'm not against the whole passport bro thing. The hell with these Western women, man. Right? If the woman's not calling on Yahweh Shem Shai, and in a lot of cases, these women, outside of the few that listen and learn, a lot of these women is covering up their heads and talking about shalom, brother. They're some of the worst ones. All right? I'm just being straight up with you.
Think he's done his job. He think his job is done, but nope. Your job has just begun, and this ain't even the half. All right, let's play the video.
In sickness.
In sickness.
And in health.
And in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And to obey.
And see, that's not a laughing matter, it's a crying matter. All right? Because that's now how marriage is described. Matter of fact, let's bring out what a marriage is biblically. All right? On earth as it is in heaven. All right? Because the Lord said he changes not. He gave you the laws. All right? So we're going to go to Genesis, the 24th chapter and the 67th verse. All right? And I'm going to start up. The point is in 67. And I'm going to start at 63. And it says, and Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the evening tide. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, a camel coming. Because, his father had sent a servant to go bring back a wife of his mother's people. All right. He said, he didn't want his son to marry a woman of the land that they're in. All right. But one of his own. All right. And it says, and Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel. For she had said unto the servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, it is my master. Therefore she took her veil and covered herself. All right. And because she had been prepared. Okay. And this is a chaste virgin. This is an untouched woman. No man has gone on into her. All right. That's one of the most important aspects of getting married. This woman don't want to obey, and she didn't had more men than he and she birthdays combined. All right. It says, and I'm talking about the woman in the video at that point, but it says, and the servant told Isaac all the things that he had done, because he went and found this woman just as Abraham had told him to, and brought him back for Isaac. All right. And then Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah. Basically, he took her in there. He lifted off her veil and he lifted up her skirt, and he immediately went inside of her. All right. And she became his wife, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. There was no vows. There was none of that. All right. I just read to you, in the eyes of the Lord, in the eyes of the King of Kings, what marriage is biblically. All right. It's not vows and exchanging vows and a man saying by the power vested in me and none of that. That's all Western Christianized bullshit lies. All right. So ladies, the first man, if you can remember, all right, because many of you on number 500, I've been watching the TikTok videos, and some women actually, way too many Western women have numbers like that. All right. But those of you who can remember who your first man was, that's your actual husband. Okay. You married now with kids, you're an adulteress, and your husband is an adulterer, and your children were born of an adulterous union. That's why the Lord said we're an adulterous generation. That's why we're all so filthy. Because very few people in our culture, in the West, period, mother brings forth children from a womb that was untouched by other men outside of the men who fathered her children. That's typically not the case. And a lot of these trifling hoes, and I'm gonna call them what they are. They bringing forth children from other men while they're married to another man. All right.
talk about that one in council.
We did talk about that in council. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right.
You see, she talking way too much and got way too much power. So this marriage is doomed before it even started, man. Let's go to she talking too damn much. All right. This is 1 Corinthians 14, because she up in the church, right? And this is gonna rub some of you the right way, and I don't give a damn. To hell with you. This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 33, and it reads, "For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law." All right? "And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. For it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church." It was a shame for her to open her goddamn mouth. All right? She's supposed to open her mouth to say, "Yes, honey. Yes, yes, honey," or open her mouth for some copulation. Outside of that, she can shut her damn mouth. All right? Yeah, I'm toxic as hell up in here. All right? That's how it's supposed to be. Okay? And that don't mean you're supposed to be a tyrant over your woman instead of just some wicked damn tyrant. Okay? But there is an order to things, and that order is not followed. And that's okay, because you might have a problem with it, but the Lord is going to fix that real soon. You wait till these lights go out. Right? You wait till they try to force these illegal mandates and all this other stuff again. When this food get cut off. Then we're going to see how strong and independent and all that, we're going to see all that mouth you got. See, you keep that energy. All right? Because David, King David, all right, our king had multiple wives, as is many other men of the Lord, and they weren't sinful for doing it. Or not once. The Lord said, if you wanted more wives, I would have given them unto you. All right? Isaiah 4:1. It says, "And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." So just like Isaac did, you're going to take her into your tent, all right? And the only way she's going to get your name is after you go inside of her. And that's what's going to take away her reproach. That's how she's going to make it up out of here. And a lot of you bad bees, you boss bees, nobody going to pick you, right? Like Future always said, you're going to be for the streets, and it's going to be for the worst way, all right? When these men is running wild, like, I've been saying it for a long time, all right? You've been on the cock carousel, all right? And that day the carousel is going to ride you, and you ain't going to get to pick and choose who you want to ride. They going to ride you, all right? Mercifully, mercilessly, without mercy. Next. Some of you gonna get it, and it's gonna be 2-3 at a time. All right, that's how it's gonna get grimy out here. Grimy. Okay. This is Ezekiel. Book of Ezekiel 21 and 10, and it reads, no, it's not 21 and 10, that's not it. It's not what I wanted. Salakia, I don't even know why I said that. Let's scratch that. Let's go to Samuel. I was talking about David. Should have stayed in the program. Let's go to 2 Samuel 5. And I'm going to start about verse 12, because I just read this last night. And it says, and David perceived that Yahweh had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for his people Israel's sake. All right, so he just got crowned king over the Lord's chosen people. What does he do next? And David took him more concubines and the wives. They put the concubines first. I'll read it again, starting at verse 12. And David perceived that Yahweh had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for his people Israel's sake. And David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem after he was come from Hebron, and there were yet sons and daughters born to David. And then it gives you the names of them. All right, all these sons and daughters. All right, two of the most popular, most well known will be Solomon. All right, and then and Absalom. Okay, he had a lot of sons, a lot of children. It didn't say that he was wicked, that he was committing adultery. And the Lord said he changes not. I believe that's in Malachi. I am the Lord and I change not. I think. Yep. Malachi 3 and 6. And it reads, I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. All right. So what? So what didn't change? The law. Just like this is when it says a woman is to keep quiet, as saith the law. All right. As saith the law on earth as it is in heaven. The laws of heaven are here on earth. They're still in place. All right. The Bible is a book of law, statutes, and commandments. Those are the laws of heaven, and the laws of heaven allow a man on earth to have multiple women. Who in the hell are these Christians to go and change the Lord's law and then elevate women to be equal and above men? All right. Hell, a man can disannul a woman's prayer. All right. A woman can pray and a man can pull back her prayer. So how is a man and a woman equal? Okay. This is Numbers. Slovakia. This is Numbers 30 and 3. And I'm going to read 3 and 4 just to prove the point. Actually, I'm gonna read. Damn, I'm going to read. Go ahead and read to I'm going to just read. Now, as I start looking down. All right, it says in Numbers 30 and 3. And it says, if a woman also vow a vow unto Yahweh, and bind herself by a bond being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow and her bond wherein she have bound her soul, meaning she made a prayer and bound, and all right, and her father shall hold his peace at her, and all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherein she have bound her soul shall stand. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth, and not any of her vows or her bonds wherewith she have bound her soul shall stand, and Yahweh shall forgive her because her father disallowed her. You hear that? So if she's like, well, I want to do this and I want to marry this man, but her father's already promised her to another man, all right, and she make these prayers on it, you know, or she goes, says she's not going to do something or do something else, her father can change all that. Why? Because he have power over her. All right. And then when she takes on her husband's name, now her husband has that possession. He that getteth a wife getteth possession. All right. And if she had at all an husband where she vowed or uttered out of her lips wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband hear it and held his peace in the day that he heard it, then her vow shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband disallow her on that day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of non-effect, and Yahweh shall forgive her. So the Lord gave the man power over his maid, the father power over his daughter. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Shai Bahashem Rakakadash Wa Abba Kwam Yasharala.